So if you're in the market for a Lotus Elise, there's definitely some things to look for. In general, they're great cars. They use a Toyota engine and transmission, so they're reliable. The fiberglass panel structure of the car, without any kind of external forces on it, are stable. You know, there's no inherent weaknesses in the car. Things that you want to kind of start out with is cosmetic. How is the car? How many miles are on it? How is the wear and tear on the seats? We typically see a little bit of wear and tear on the leather right near the seat belt. Pretty normal, you'll get a little bit in there. This car has 44,000 miles on it. The interior still looks good. You'll see little scuffs and stuff, people getting in and out, but wear and tear should be in pretty good shape. Most of the cars came with a star shield to protect the paint. So you kind of want to check the paint, check kind of how everything fits and the finishes and stuff. Most of the damage on these cars come to the front of the car. The chins are kind of low and they're fiberglass. There's nothing to protect them, so it's not unusual to see some wear and tear at the bottom. Sometimes it'll get some damage and then they'll get it repaired, and in this case this car had been repaired, repainted, but then they didn't put the star shield back, so it's missing the star shield from here down. It has it from here up, and so that the paint's being protected. There's also here in the fiberglass, you can see some where it's kind of peeled or separated. That's a repair that didn't last, and it'll have to be re-repaired, everything nicely painted, and then the star shield reapplied. So it'll cost a little bit of money, but it can be brought back to the same fit and finish as the rest of the car. These cars being fairly low to the ground, if you're behind a truck, something like that, you can get rock chips thrown up at you. You kind of want to look at the windshield. How badly is it pitted? Driving into the sun, that may make some problems as far as visibility. Look all the way around all the edges of the windshield, because you can get a crack and it might be in one of the corners. You may not see it. This windshield's $1,500, $1,700 installed to replace, so you kind of want to make sure it's in good shape. And if you kind of if you're a do-it-yourselfer doing things and you want to change the mirror, be very careful handling the connection to the mirror to the windshield. They will, if you push and pull too hard, you can actually crack the windshield there. We've had a couple of people do that. 05s and 06s have a different headlight assembly than the 07 and newer cars. It's got a lens that fits over the headlight. The headlight assembly's kind of down in the bucket. The amount of light that they put out with the halogen bulb wasn't particularly good. This car's been updated to the xenon headlight bulb, and excuse the pun, but it makes a night and day difference. Any early car, you really need to have the HIDs on it. A lot of cars have been done, so it's something that's probably already there for you. 07s, they work a lot better with the stock bulb. They do even better with the HIDs. They can be updated as well, but it isn't quite as mandatory. In the back of the car, it's typically parking lot. Somebody kind of bumps into the car, or just a little love tap as far as somebody not stopping quite quick enough. That can create problems. Unfortunately, there's no urethane bumper to absorb it, so it's the fiberglass. If they get a bump in this area, the floor is right about here, and typically you'll get a stress crack where the floor is. So kind of look at the whole edge along the back. Is there any kind of cracks or any unevenness, that kind of thing. The other thing to look for is on some of the early clams, there's a hole right here between the license plate lights, and that, if it gets bumped in the back, you'll see kind of a break in that, the piece that kind of goes along the back there. This car doesn't have it. Look at all the grills and panels for fit. 05s have the old incandescent bulbs. 06 and newer, they're LEDs. We see the lights fail a little bit here and there. It's worth just checking all the lights on the car, making sure everything works properly. 05s have the reflector down here. In 06 with the LEDs, they built it into the taillight, so the grill's a 1 year thing on 05s. We've got the luxury that we can put the cars on the lift and give them a good look underneath. The cars are fairly low. You want to make sure it hasn't run over something or kind of bottomed out, that kind of thing. The whole bottom of the car is flat bottom. You have a rear diffuser. You've got a engine tray. This tray you would remove to do your oil changes. It's a Toyota engine, so the oil changes are really straightforward. A do-it-yourselfer can do most of the fluids and maintenance on the car if you like. Coming forward, that flat bottom continues. This is the aluminum extrusions. This is actually the frame of the car. This is a skin that's kind of trapped in there, bonded and riveted in. This is what your feet are on. It's just an aluminum skin. There is another rail that goes across that the seat attaches to where these rivets are, but that's from the top side. So for aerodynamics and downforce, the whole underside is flat. And with a little bit of 10 millimeter rake front to rear, it actually creates a little bit of a vacuum, and it gives you a little bit of downforce, keeps the car stable. So just all of this should be smooth. There shouldn't be any nicks or anything in the aluminum. If somebody hasn't jacked the car up properly, they sometimes it'll slip. This is where you want to put the floor jack. It's right in this area. There's a little sticker here, but right here with a hockey puck is actually the best place. So if you jack the car up, only go high enough to get the wheels off. If you put it here too close to the edge or go too high, it kind of wants to pull the jack out and you'll punch a hole. So in doing your inspection, make sure that the fiberglass looks nice along the side sill here, that somebody hasn't accidentally had the jack slit. If the car slid off the road sideways, something like that, you'll see gravel marks and stuff where it slid. That'll be an indication that it might have been in an accident. These are kind of the Achilles heel of the front going in and out of driveways. This being so low, coming in and out of driveways, go a little too fast or it's a little too steep, you'll catch. This actually isn't bad. This has been repaired in the past. You can see where the repair is coming loose. But this can wear all the way through and make a hole. This one's pretty close here. The front splitters that are available in the aftermarket do a lot to protect the front of the car. They usually attach to these bolts, as well as some bolts that you have to drill and put in the clam. That'll take an impact coming forward, as well as just the wear and tear, help protect it. We highly recommend them. And Star Shield, definitely want to keep it on the car to keep the paint in good shape.